Greetings, greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the vault. Trust Christian, know nothing, control everything. Just want to thank you for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, that listens to the replay. Always appreciate everybody that does. This is the vault, episode 278. Vaccine company stocks down. Why? And so we wanted to talk about this topic because we have a varied audience that listens. Quite a few people are in the market. We want to talk about this. This is not labeled to be financial advice, never has been, never will be, but it's a conversation generally about misconceptions, about things that they obviously are common sense, but they're counterintuitive to where the marketplace is right now. Clearly, we're a few days into 2021, which is the fourth, and we already see that these companies that were supposed to be at the forefront of getting a vaccine, their stocks are down month over month. We wanted to talk about that. Why are they down? We want to lay our first premise down to our trustees and our listening audience. Appreciate the Bronx for tuning in live, listening to replay. Feel free to type into the chat where you listening live or listening to replay. Feel free to type that into the chat. Shout out to the Bronx. You can call in live 443-296-2465. The number's in the description. Shout out to New Orleans, Louisiana for tuning in live, listening to replay. Definitely appreciate the Bayou. So, vaccine company stocks down? Question mark. Why? Question mark. Why? Well, let's just go ahead and look at these companies. We first want to address the listening audience and say the stock market is not the economy, ladies and gentlemen. This is clearly being dictated right now to you right in front of your eyes. So you can never say you don't know what the stock market is revealing to you. You know, they're revealing to you that the stock market is not the economy. Now, these are companies that are supposed to be able to meet the demand. So, you all can go to all of these companies and read their press releases. That's not what we're here to do today. What we're here to do is to go over these companies' stock and why it's month over month down. And we're going to talk numbers. So we're not talking theory, we're talking facts. So you got to ask yourself, well, why would the stock be down if they're able to supply the market? Well, clearly, they're in a saturated market. Saturated market means what? Prices go down. Prices are high when there's less competition. You have to go according to the market. Why? Because at the end of the day, the so-called vaccine it's been produced. At this point, there's no monopoly on it. There's no one company that has the vaccine. There are multiple companies. This is common sense. Multiple companies say they have a development of it. Well, let's go look at some of the big companies that some of these big TV networks want to promote. But why would you be promoting a stock that's gone down? So let's talk about this company, Moderna. Moderna is one of the growers of the particular stock. We could go in deeper and go month over month. Ladies and gentlemen, Moderna stock December 8th was at 169 high. Right now, Moderna is down at 111. So why did something drop $50, ladies and gentlemen? It lost $50 in value? Is that the reality? Let's go to the next one, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna go to Pfizer. These are public companies, ladies and gentlemen. These are companies that people may have told people to actually go buy. Well, if you're gonna take the vaccine, well, why don't you go buy it? So let's go look. Pfizer. Once again, this stock December 8th, ladies and gentlemen, all-time high was at $42. So the stock was at $42. Guess where Pfizer's at right now? It's not up. It's down what? $4. It's at $36.81. So this is month over month. It's actually came off the day before that was about 41. So yeah, high was at the 8th, which was $42. Is down, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go look at the next one. We Hey, we'll go to we don't mind. These aren't our companies. We're not telling you to hold these fools, because at the end of the day, these are the people that are supposed to be at the forefront of what is considered the economy reopening. These people, these companies are supposed to be the reason why the economies are not open yet. Correct? Because they're going to create some miracle product that's going to bring them out the tubes. Well, let's go look at AstraZeneca. AstraZeneca is another name in the forefront. We could almost go through this entire sector, ladies and gentlemen. Now, there's going to be some outliers that are actually winning. But as it stands right now, the names that are pushed on major media networks, AstraZeneca was at $54 December 8th. Where's it at right now? $50. Went down to $50, ladies and gentlemen. Some people say, well, it went down first. Okay. We would like for you all to know that sometimes it does look that way, where you'll see companies go down on the front end before they take their rally. But let's go look at these companies, ladies and gentlemen. Alrighty, here goes another one. Novavax. Novavax was December 7th, December 8th, was at 123. Closed today at 112. Now, once again, ladies and gentlemen, these are the companies that took their rally off the public 6 months prior. Companies were probably down 6 months prior. Now they're up. So, what happened right now? Why are they down? We're how many months into they actually developed the vaccine? What happens when stocks get high? What happened? You're supposed to sell, right? Okay. So, did you all know that the Gov said it was okay for these companies to do corporate buybacks? Do you think they're going to do corporate buybacks? Do you think that's probably why there's a delay in their stock? By any chance? Is there a delay in their stock from going up? Didn't they just save the world? We just named a few companies, 3 or 4. Can we keep going? Let's see if we'll have a couple other companies pop up. Now, once again, most of these companies, we could go through the list, ladies and gentlemen. You guys looking into the sector, we could have named this more after the sector than we could why are the vaccine company stocks down, why. But it's pretty evident that they're down, and the reasons are for you to go and look on the press releases and the investor relations website. What happened to you guys? Did you guys run out of money? Let's look at your, ladies and gentlemen, we're in the first quarter now, so we're going to see what have they been doing with the money in the fourth quarter. When the money goes down in the company, what happened? You were supposed to gain value. People were supposed to gain confidence in these companies, ladies and gentlemen. They're on the news buying media time. So they're on the news. They're buying media time. And then we get to this point where we're a month past the fact that they said that they had a development of a vaccine. And where are these companies at right now? Where are they at? Their stock it went down. The stock market's gone up over the past month. Are we about to see the market do the same thing that these stocks are doing? Hold on. What companies are up 300% and 400% this year? So the tech can still outperform the vaccine companies? The companies that all year they were supposed to be making a run in a rally for saving grace. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a depiction of the stock market is not the economy. When you look at the stock market, clearly this stock is showing lack of confidence. Those stocks are showing lack of confidence in the marketplace. But Tesla had a confidence boost this year. What other companies? Apple had a confidence boost. Disney had a confidence boost. Amazon had a confidence boost. What does confidence come from? Confidence comes from dollars going into the stock, going into these companies. People didn't have faith in these companies? What happened? The stock market is not the economy. That's what. The vaccine companies are a clear depiction of that the stock market is not the economy. Why did they not come in and gain equitable value? This is a good question. They didn't gain equitable value. No? What happened? Why did the stock lose value then? Did money leave the stock? That's what happens. It's called a sell-off. You sell off high, you buy low. Isn't that the old common colloquial cliche? Were they exhausted right now? Were their workers exhausted from big bonuses at the end of the year that they performed a rally in their stocks the entire year? Oh, was it time to really take profit? Did they take profit at its high? 30 days later, you're seeing it down. When did they take profit? There is a take profit at one point. You just saw it over the holidays, ladies and gentlemen. That's how quickly it happens. When you own hundreds of percent of a company, when you have large shares in a company, of course there's selling off of shares, buying back of shares. These companies were held up from doing that this year because they got PPE money. They got held up from doing that this year. They already were going to take profits at rally. So they took profits in rally just now. Some people say, oh no, the cliffhanger, it can't be any worse. They're going to go in opposite direction. Well, as it stands right now, 30 days into them having the vaccines for these companies, their stocks are down. So this is only intelligent looking forward. We can see that, they might have went down for a month. Maybe they rally. Or there's a high probability, once again, that they're going to keep doing what they've been doing. And we got to wonder, why would that be the case? For the next month, at least. Wow. This is the common class that people go through in colleges. It's called economics. And they go through a class called supply and demand. And they learn that there's a supply, but the demand is not there the way that it should be. Oh, really? So when we look at the value chain, ladies and gentlemen, the companies have said, we've developed the product. We got the supply. But the demand, they're not buying it in droves. Oh, really? That's why our stocks are going down. Really? Because that's the way it looks. Why, if people were buying your product, it goes up in value. There are more people using Amazon. That's why their stock went up. With more people using Apple products, their stock went up. There's more people watching Netflix. Their stock went up. There's more people utilizing Zoom. Their stock went up. But hold on. We can look at common sense supply and demand chain, and we can see that the vaccine companies aren't doing the giving out the meeting the demand or having a demand that they thought they would have right now. Is that the case? Do we see them supplying the demand that is there? Where is the demand at, ladies and gentlemen? Where is this demand that might be falsely not available? Where is this demand that's not being met? Because where value goes, such as dollars and cash flow go, so does value increase, equity increase. That's like asking you, how many people bought Teslas this year? How many people bought, these cars, particularly that company, when their value went up? How did their value go up this year? Their value went up because what? More people bought, electric vehicles this year? Has their value increased because of their market share? What has made their company more valuable in particular? Because we see one company now, these companies, their stocks went down over the past month. Why is that the case? Over the past 30 days, theirs has gone down. And even over the past 30 days, we may have to go look at a Tesla and see how a Tesla looks. Just over the past 30 days, ladies and gentlemen, this is still, that's a discretionary thing, sitting there with a Tesla. Ladies and gentlemen, that's just being honest. Okay, and even over the past month, let's just say December 7th, it was at 640. Right now, Tesla is at, it's at 729. So once again, you all can see that 729, it's up, ladies and gentlemen. This is a company who's buying a Tesla that's more valuable than the vaccine. This is how you know the stock market is not the economy. And this is something we always want to make very clear to our listening audience. When you are looking at this type of information, how you can have discernment, how your eyes and ears cannot be fooled by what's considered the news. Once again, these companies paid to be on the news. They had their CEO sit on we're going to work on this. We're going to try this. We're going to do our best to get this together. And then next thing you know, they get it together. Like, you paid for TV time to create negative earnings. They're creating negative earnings right now. Who made money in the company? Was it the company? Was it the CEOs? Was it the board members? Because last time we checked, the stockholders aren't making money right now. They're losing money for the past 30 days. This is obvious information. And so when you're looking at this, you can't let your public school education that says, oh, well, I don't know, they didn't train me to learn about stocks when I was in public school, Christian. When I went to college, they still didn't explain stocks to me. I just let my financial advisor do that. And your financial advisor has you in a well-diversified portfolio of medical stocks, and these stocks are clearly in front of your face going down for 30 days. Why don't you have any type of control over that? Or then people are taking these tips from Robinhood. Didn't people take the tips to go into the vaccine companies? You sure people didn't take the tips? That people have been on Robinhood all year talking about they've been making money. So why wouldn't you have gotten in this type of environment? This is the environment. This is the hype stock. Oh, dude, we're going to hype you up and make you think that, the vaccination is going to be the reason why the economies are closed down. Well, clearly they've released the vaccination. And once again, where there is a supply, demand was supposed to meet it. The demand has not met the supply at this point yet. And that's the bottom line. You can clearly see that. Why? Because there is a crimp in the hourglass somewhere that either people don't want it or the product's not being moved fast enough. Because what? Do they not have enough product? Have they reported they don't have enough product for the population? Not at all, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Once again, we are talking about what's really going on in front of our eyes for the past 30 days, which we see is literally these companies are going down right in front of your faces. It's like something you just got to be able to wake up, look, and say, okay, something's going on here, and it should encourage you to do further looking into the once again, the market separated from the economy, being able to look at the economy and say, okay, something's going on in the economy that's different than these companies making money right here, because clearly these are the main major players that are in this environment, and their stocks are looking like they're looking bad right now, ladies and gentlemen. Even over the past 30 days, it's like, ladies and gentlemen, that's a strong conversation right there. When these are companies that were supposed to have bailed out the world, ladies and gentlemen, straight up. This is where private or capitalist enterprise was supposed to save the day, and their stocks are going down. But when you look at other American tech companies, they're out here just doing their job, which is growing in value, increasing subscribership. So many American companies, tech companies, literally have doubled in value just because of this situation. So, when we see people allocating funds towards their portfolio and talking about medical stocks and all this different stuff, we really wanted to point that out, particularly with these companies, because this is something that, we've had partners at the Vault, come and predict the situation with us. We talked about it a while ago, and it was just funny to say, they're probably going to go down. And it's like, how do you call a market 30 days in advance? It's because you understand the basic elements of supply and demand. You don't need to go to college to know the terms of supply and demand. If the stock's going down because there is no damn buyers. If the buyers were in the market, they would be doing what? Buying it. But buyers buy low. They don't buy at the high. They buy low. So when we see that they were at a high and they dropped off the high, how far can this cliff be? How far can this cliff be? Can bad news make the stock go down even more? You might want to think about that, ladies and gentlemen. These are the small details that they give you the hint, hint, wink, winks in advance, specifically data that shows you, look, there's a confirmation. We've gone down for 30 days. And here's even more of a greater confirmation. You're starting to hear bad news come out about us. Well, if they were so good, they wouldn't have let bad news come out about them, just like they promoted the fact that they were going to be able to meet a supply meet a demand issue, and now they're here to save the day for meeting a demand issue. Well, if you're here to meet the demand issue, then that means you're creating value in the marketplace, and their value is supposed to be growing astronomical, but instead they've lost value. That's what happens in the marketplace. When your company gains value, your stock goes up. We call them value stocks. So we already know Tesla's definitely a growth and a value stock. These companies have become not just value stocks now because they actually have value. They actually are growth stocks. Amazon is considered a value growth stock. It has growth, not just value. These are real companies out there. What happened to these companies? Did they not have value, or did they just have growth? Well, we already saw that they got quite a few people from earlier this year's lows to this year to 2020's all-time highs. We already know why they're down. It's because there's a supply and demand issue. Are you all looking to beat the demand? Where's the demand at for these companies? See, they got what the market got last year. They fleeced the people, got some money, but now they're feeling the shock that happened last year, which was no one wants your product. Why doesn't anybody want their product? So how are they integrating their product into society? They're integrating it through the governments. Well, we'll just see if the government will force people to do it. We'll see if these companies will force people to do it. We don't want to force people. That's bad. Forcing, word, bad. So we're not going to force people to do it. We're not forcing people to buy our product. Are you forcing yourself to take the shot? Any natural, normal, cognizant living being? Are you forcing yourself to take it? It's available, but the demand clearly is represented in the fact of their stock and their valuation and what's going on right now. Stock market, we saw what it did today. If you're on the market and you saw what happened here on the 4th of the 2021, the 4th of the first month, you saw what happened today. But once again, month over month, the markets are up. Pretty much all the markets in the world are up. That's even wilder. Right now, the markets are up year over year. So we're going to see right now, are you invested in these companies? Some people say, "Oh, I'm gonna throw this into my pension." Yeah, sure you are. These are the type of companies that we look at and we laugh at, because it's almost like you're looking for the short now. You're looking for the fact that we could take them for another 30 days. These fools don't look like they're gonna come out of this position. Look at these guys in the position they're in. They're supposed to be the leading companies for an economy, but they're not. They dropped the ball. And you could go see how much money these companies have. You can go see how much Pfizer has on its books. You can go see how much Moderna has on its books. You can go see how much Novavax has on its books. You can go see how much AstraZeneca has on its books. So they're not missing anything. They're not missing money. They're holding billions of dollars. But this is a classic. They don't want to call it a pump and dump. It doesn't look like that. Why? Because it's on the public side. These guys, they develop the product, but no one wants it. Oh, bad drug dealer. You're a bad drug dealer now. You got a product, but no one wants it. Did you kill your fiends? What happened? If you got product and you got supply, then you should be cooking up work right now. Funds should be going out of the roof. Revenue should be jumping. What happened, ladies and gentlemen? Somehow revenue's not meeting with the stock price. Stock price is going inverse compared to what they would consider revenue right now. If you're making money, But we already know why they're not making money. And that's because we've identified it in this episode. It doesn't need to necessarily bear repeating, but we'll say it again. This is where supply and demand are at a conflicting force. And think about it. If Tesla wasn't supplying cars this year, their stock wouldn't have went up. Who's buying? Why would the stock go up for a company that can't produce the vehicles that they say they're going to produce? We already know why. They were producing. They're utilizing automation to build their cars. It was mid-year last year that what's his name? What's that guy? Elon said we need to go back to work in January in July. He was like, we need to push for profits. And that was a paraphrase to Elon in his statement. There's a public statement that he made about them getting back to work in July. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a coincidence. This is once again counterintuitive. The stock market is not the economy. This is what you're learning face to face. This is why it's incumbent upon you to learn about the market as a whole, because you're in the business environment. No matter if you got a job or if you got a business, knowing about the market is very important. Why? Because these companies right now, look at them. What if your company was public and you were a vaccine company? Would you be down right now? Why are they down? It bears the question, but we already know why they're down. So we're going to see quite a bit of a marketing media campaign. Oh, we need this organization to put it in their business and this organization to put it in their business. Think about how much employers listen to their employees in the United States nowadays. How much they listen to their employees. If their employees give them pushback, enough of their employees give pushback, why would there be a need for unions? There are companies that don't have unions, and their companies are not going to enforce rules like that. This isn't the first time that this has ever happened, and it's not going to be the last. So what happened in the other pandemics or situations? Why didn't the government force companies to do it then? We already know why. Some countries are free. Some countries don't give 50% of their money to taxes or more. We could talk about the tax havens, and we could talk about the countries that they take literally 60%, 70% in taxes from their people. That's taxes, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, but you want to move to Italy and France, right? You're moving over there, and then you have socialized healthcare, where they have a national healthcare system. You could go look at their company's vaccination stocks, the stocks in those regions, the companies that have developed the product in their region. Italy has its own companies, so does France. Other countries in the UK that have socialized medicine. Is it free? Or is it socialized? Well, the demand in the United States said, we're not socialized. There's no forced. Somebody put up Denmark too. Shout out to Denmark. Shout out to Denmark. Yeah, Denmark is one of those special places too. Once again, go look into their medical vaccination company stocks, because clearly the United States is rejecting it, right? Right. Clearly. And these companies, you can go look into these American companies. They have a diverse portfolio in other countries. So who's buying their product? Is it just foreigners, or is it Americans as well? Simple supply and demand conversation, but most people are blown away. We've already had our 2 cents about these other, doom and gloom, boom and pop type environments, whether it's this Bitcoin or anything else. We see this all the time. See, when you just start paying attention to these type of things, you can peep out the BS a lot faster in the market. Like when you're looking at the market for your retirement pension stocks, you're not looking at these companies. You're like, oh well, I remember when they came out, years back. They didn't handle that situation well. So maybe they're not going to handle this situation well in the future. Let me read up on the management of the company, see if it's changed. Because if they're the same fools in place 5 or 10 years later, they're going to do the same thing they did 5 or 10 years ago. They're not going to really extraordinarily go out of the roof. But ladies and gentlemen, you can go into some of these technology companies right now that are literally kicking butt, that are saying, well, they're dealing and improving in the health right now too. You think Apple didn't improve with its analytics, with people utilizing the Apple Watch and giving away the free data to Apple for Apple Analytics? You think they're not keeping track of that data? Oh, I'm working out, my heart rate. You think they can't sell that data to a healthcare company that needs to know data so they can improve health conditions? Oh, they haven't gotten there yet though. But you signed away your rights to the data that you're giving them. Vaccine companies though, they don't have any data. And the only data they're getting is feedback right now. They thought they were going to supply a demand, and then they found out that the demand was maybe exogenic. Just like the shock that they experienced early in the year that caused for these companies' stock to go up in the first place. Oh, there's a situation on hand. Your stock's supposed to go up. We're going to wait till you get to where you actually develop it, and now your stock's going to go down. Oh, really? Well, let's go look at Tesla. It hasn't gone down at all. Amazon, it hasn't gone at all. We saw the stock split this past year. So did the value of the stock go down? Ladies and gentlemen, for all the listeners at the Vault, we got a good one for our listeners at the Vault, because we got quite a few listeners at the Vault that are traders. And so for all the traders that are a part of Cornell's group, that work with Cornell, that have gone through Cornell's group, and you dealt with the company that he mentioned recently in the group, it's so crazy because he told some people about it. They went in, they got the stock, they got it at literally pennies on the dollar, and it went up 8 times. It went up 8 times, and it was something that most of them woke up to. It wasn't like they had the news. It wasn't like they had fundamentals on knowing why I did it. They went off of something that, because they're a part of a quality network at the Vault, he wanted to give a freebie out. He finally gives a freebie out. Literally, people were supposed to get wealthy off. They were supposed to get rich off of that one alone. That one right there was, you got rich, whether you know it or not. But we already know. We have a variant listener group at the Vault. We'll say this: even if a person threw $1,000 in there, okay, sure, you got Christmas money this year. You got $10,000 plus. You got that for sure. And that was light. That was light. That was something that we and so most people experienced this past year with those major companies, a stock split where the each per share went down in value, whereas people in the group just saw a jump up. You saw what's called the gap up. It gapped up. And it's just so interesting to know that, you know, we're in that type of environment in 2021 where things are looking really good. Really excited about it. Definitely appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. It's going to be a wonderful year. It's 2021. We're starting out the first couple days. We're on day number 4, and it's just a beautiful time to really be making some plays happen. And as you all can see, jumping into these companies, we can see that hasn't been a wise move if you've been in it for the past 30 days and you got it at its all-time high. So as it stands right now, we want to just go ahead and say, well, look, if it's like that for the past 30 days, don't be the hero. We'll let you all know quite a few of us aren't hero with finance, and until you prove yourself. And so if you haven't proven that you are a hero with finance yet, these companies are proven to be trash. That's what they're proven to be. And we want to do interviews with their CEOs. Why has your company lost value in 30 days when you were supposed to create the miracle pill for why people have lost their jobs and people don't have livelihoods? So people got to get back to work. And the only way they can do it is through this vaccination supposedly being disseminated. But the economy is not the stock market. That's what you come to learn when you enroll in the Vault. When you go through the Vault, you learn the truth. The stock market is not the economy, ladies and gentlemen. Get over it. Read about these companies on your free time. Not just look at the news, because they bought media time. Did they exhaust their funds in their marketing? What happened? Or did the CEOs take a nice end of the year bonus? Wow. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Feel free to shout out Christian at TrustChristian.com. Christian at TrustChristian.com. Definitely going to be doing some major work with the new website coming in 2021. A lot of people have been looking forward to a lot of the Vault's doings. And, I guess this year, we'll be putting out, more content of what the trustees are saying. We might start a forum of what the trustees are saying in the private sector, because, trustees know that the company stocks were going to go down. But did the trustees really know that? How do we know that in the private as a trustee? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's the end of the year, and we know about supply and demand issues and supply chain issues. And just looking at this overall right now, what do you want it personally? It's one of those things about, like, did Donald Trump win the election? At this point, it doesn't matter, right? Right. But there were quite a few people's neighbors' polls that showed that the man, people said, yeah, I think my neighbor will vote for him. But this, it's good to talk about these things in hindsight. We can talk about the stocks going down for the past 30 days in hindsight. Like, we don't know that they just came out with the vaccine in the past 30 days. So why would they be down? Why are they down? Like logically deductive thinking. Well, they were taking a break real quick, Trust Christian. Well, hey, I'm not going to be around to find out how long the break was. We're moving on. We would like to say these companies are trash, publicly. But, hey, they're American companies. You got to fight for your own. These are companies that, you got to look at it and say, why are their stocks down, ladies and gentlemen? Just like you're an investor in the company, you got to be able to talk to the CFOs, find out why their stocks are down. You got to be able to call their investor relations, ask them, what is going on? What do they look forward to right now? We know what they're doing for the past 30 days, and they just created the vaccine. We need to know what their forward-looking operation and earnings are going to be, because as it stands right now, they're giving out negative earnings, and they did that for the past 30 days. Did you earn some money, and then you're giving out how you giving out negative dividend yields? That means we're not giving out dividends this quarter, guys. So or guess what? We're not going to report that we had positive earnings this past quarter. Oh, really? Okay. So are you reinvesting the money? So your stock's going down when you're reinvesting money. Well, what is Tesla doing over there? Aren't they reinvesting the money? Right. Tesla's reinvesting the money. Their stock's going up. But these companies, theirs going down? Right. We already know what it is. Appreciate it, and shout out to all the trustees that are listening live, listening to replay. Appreciate you all. Feel free to reach out, Christian at TrustChristian.com for a consultation. Christian at TrustChristian.com. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Feel free to reach out. Talk to you all soon. Peace.